Okay. Hello, good morning. Today is a little late than usual because it's Saturday. And last Friday night I slept a little late, so today's stream is a little later than usual. But that doesn't stop me from still doing the stream. So, yeah. Gonna send out the tweets and then we're gonna get started. Okay, now that all the tweets and posts have been sent out, let's get started. Let's do a quick review of what we did last time, and then we can figure out what we're going to do today. Well, I already know what we're going to do today. So, last time we tweaked, basically we tweaked with the GraphQL API from GitHub, right? And it's super fun. Don't get me wrong, it was super fun, right? Like basically, GraphQL is really powerful. It allows you to describe the shape of data that you want based on a public schema that the API has. And for the APIs that don't combine multiple endpoints together, this is a really good way for you to save a few trips to the conventional REST API for your average data needs, right? And it is especially powerful for us because we are making 5 API calls and we're gonna make a lot more just for a single page. So in that instance, essentially we are saving probably like 10-20 API calls, making the page dramatically faster. And that's one way to do it. I mean, that's one way to describe it. But what's hard about it right now, we've been tinkering with GraphQL, right? And what was hard about it is forming the actual query is really, really hard because you have to get, it's not like really, really hard, it's just complicated. You have to get the string to be exactly correct. Last few times we're having some issues with the strings. And it doesn't seem to work really well with the multi-line string in C#. So we're gonna see how to deal with that. What I'm thinking right now is that I'm just gonna create a file of just like GraphQL file with the query that we're gonna use, and after that we'll just read the file from C# and generate a JSON file from it, and then we pass it, right? So that's hopefully a better way to do it. Still need to figure out a few more things though. So first thing is how are we gonna do the query, because we're gonna want to put some basically parameters into the query, right? Because for example, for the page that we want to fetch, we need the repo owner, we need the repo name, and we're also gonna need the pull request number. And After we get everything from the query, we also need to parse it into actual C# objects. So that part I still don't have it figured out yet. So yeah, let's see what we're gonna do today. So probably first thing first is to read in the query and actually use it, right? So for example, let's still do things in our console project playground here. So let's do like a and I think it's time for us to really convert this into a normal class-based project, because right now this is like the simpler view. Like I think they're calling it top-level programming. Basically, you don't have to have like a program class and having the main method just to interact with it. So that's it's convenient, right? It's convenient for just testing things out, but you know, at some point you have to do what you have to do. So yeah, well, first let's just create a file for the query, and for that we're gonna look up how to do Graphql queries with parameters. Okay, so that's one way to do it. We can passing a variable, default variable, derivatives, mutation, inline fragment. Okay. Okay, so I think this is how we're gonna do it. Let's flip back to the query right here, and basically what they need, it's something like this, right? So this is, we need to give it a name, and let's do okay, so they do have open parentheses. Okay, that's cool. So for query, what we want is a name, so get viewer, and it's gonna take this basically login, right? And we're gonna need a type, basically. I think it's string. And after that, right here, we'll just say login instead of that. So after these two, we can do an extra actually, I don't know. Do we? Okay, let's try it here. I don't know, that wouldn't be a JSON, would it? So let's try just adding it here. We are injecting in login. And it's gonna be no, sorry, no. It's not get viewers. So let's do something more substantial. So let's come over here, and basically we're gonna need this whole thing, right? We already know it works. We're gonna need this whole thing, and we're gonna need a new file. So let's open a File Explorer, and then open this thing in VS Code. And we're gonna need query.graphql, and we're gonna paste in the whole thing, right? And let's not have the comments. We don't want to build it here, but what we do want is to do this. Let's call it get conversation. Right, and we're gonna want the owner to be, do they say string over here? String. And then name. It's also a string. Right, and that should just do it. The second thing we need to figure out is like how to read it, right? Basically, read files, and C#. Is this like new example? It's interesting. It's just very simple. There's no async. There's no async await going on. That's interesting. So for the query, what we're gonna want is something like this. Basically, we want to read it from the current directory, and we want to read it from query.graphql, right? And that's the query itself. And the second thing we need is to append the variables to it. And to append variables to it, we're gonna need this. Is mostly JSON, so let's do a new class. And call it query variables, and we're gonna have string of owner, right? And we're gonna have a name exactly. Okay, so let's flip back and war so new query variables. Okay, so what's wrong? Is there a typo? Oh yeah, there is a typo. Wait, still not fine? Okay, so GraphQL test dot query variables. Okay, you happy? So owner is me, name is Vader. var yeah, let's define another class, right, and call it query GraphQL query public string query get and set. And I hope this is it. Okay. Let's actually see how to pass in variables in the GitHub GraphQL API. Input objects. Okay, working with variables. So variables. Okay, we actually don't need a name in that case, right? So we can just do this, which is fine, and we need the exclamation point for some reason. Okay. I guess we need a way to generate the variables, because this is not gonna work, it seems like. Or maybe, right, we can generate this part. So we have the query and the variables, maybe. Okay. So var new GraphQL test dot GraphQL query equals to text, but not exactly, right? So text we're gonna need to append it by something, basically. Variables, right? And right here, basically, we need to do variables dot to let's see if we can do JSON. String dot J. Okay, we need to look it up how to do JSON. Serialize and deserialize exactly. Okay. System text JSON. Okay. So we need the JSON serializer dot serialize basically the variables, right? And that's the query. And right here we just need to passing once again JSON serializer dot serialize and the query itself, it seems like, and hopefully that does the trick. So I mean, let's do this, right? Let's do GraphQL query. Okay, and let's do one more variable, var query equals to, and this whole thing, when we just pass query to it, and graph query over here. So basically we can do a breakpoint over here and just to inspect if the value is correct. Okay, let's do it. Please don't bug out. Okay, it bugged out. Cannot find the file. Code, GraphQL test, GraphQL bin debug. Okay. From project directory. And yep, we're gonna need it right here and whatever that is to bring it in. And basically we just gonna do query.graphql over here, right? And that's all we need. Get a path, pass it to here. Let's run it again. Still no. It's horrible. make the file and then set action build content. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's one of those, huh? Build action is the content, copy is copy always. That's it. That's it. Save everything. Everything's been saved. Let's close it. Run this again. Oh yeah, we're hitting something. Let's copy it. Let's find, yep, this is gonna do fine. Query equals to, that's not good. That's not good. Oh yeah, we don't actually need this part. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, what? Copy value is what we want. Oh god, this is long. But it seems like we're getting what we want, basically, right? And we're appending it with our data, hopefully. Oh jeez. Oh no, what is this? So, alright, you're escaping it. Okay. That's not super good, because if we do this and wait, what? We got something? Okay, parse error on variables. Yeah, exactly. So for variables, it's can't have this, right? What can we do in this case? So basically we wanna can we have configurations for the initial for the serializer? So basically I think this step is fine, right? And I think it is because we're feeding this in here. So let's see if we can serialize with an option. And we can. So allow trailing commas, converters, default buffer size, default ignore, condition. JavaScript encoder. What is that? Is there anything we can use for escaping quotations? C#, JSON, serializer, escape characters, config. Okay, so they don't want us to serialize it twice, basically, and that's exactly what we're doing, right? And serializing twice, yeah, I do get that. It is bad. We need a way to pass in the queries with I need a way to pass in the queries without using the serializer. unless we don't use the serializer at all, right? That's nonsense. Not using the serializer is gonna cost us a lot of work, and I don't want to do that. So basically, the preferred way is still to configure the serializer so that it doesn't serialize. It doesn't escape our quotation sign into the the slash U0022 thing. Okay, if we hack it, would it work? Say we're getting all of this, right? And query dot replace all of this with this, essentially. Would that even work? And yep, let's still put a breakpoint here. No, I don't think that worked. So let's see what query is at this point. Copy the value. Nah, it didn't work. So it did not replace. Do I have to? Does inline replace doesn't work? Do this. Okay. So no. It did not replace it. Why? Can we do that? So it did replace it, and yeah, it seems like we got something, right? And you know what? That actually should be correct if I'm not mistaken. Variables is a JSON file. Query Okay, so we need a comma here, basically. No, actually, we don't. We don't need a comma. It should have just worked. Maybe a line break over here would help. I don't think line break is what we need at this point. Yeah, because if we do this and be like, hey, owner is a string and name is a string. And we just do this and that, and in the end we do variables. Is that how it works? Oh, they want us to do it here. You know what? Why don't we? All right. So variables. Owner is me. Name is Vader. And let's inspect the network. Let's do the thing. It didn't really work. I don't have to declare, but anonymous create, but not used. Oh, they're both using owner, so let's replace that and do that again. Expect value not to be null. Oh wait, what's gone? Okay, owner is me and name is Vader. Third time a charm. Yep, it's getting something. Okay, now. Oh wow, okay. What? Yeah, this is so annoying. Let's do this. So query, yeah, we're gonna need basically owner is a string and name is a string, and over here inside of viewer we want repository. Okay, and repository needs to have owner, but it's gonna use this owner thing, and name is just name, and all we're gonna get is a name and ID. And down here we can do variables to be wait, is this how it's gonna work? Okay. Yeah, it didn't work. So I think how it is expecting it to work is that it needs to be from here. Variables. And over here, it just wanted to be JSON at this point, right? So we can escape it. Like that. Let's send it. Problem parsing JSON. This is not a JSON anymore. Oh, okay. That's fine. Send. Nope. Didn't work. So we're opening it once, twice, so we're closing it twice. For variables, we're opening it once, so we're closing it once. Okay, still no. This is so weird. And this obviously didn't work, right? Missing required arguments. Position on line 1, column 40. So let's see where's line 1 and column 30. Oh yeah, I don't have line 1 on column 30. Okay. Give me a 40. Like these ones. Oh yeah. Hey, thank you. Hefty Mouse, thank you for the comment. Yeah, so they do have one, and it is not really maintained well. Because a while ago I discovered their GraphQL SDK. It's only in beta in version 0.1 1.8, I believe, and I made an issue commenting on the state of the repo, and the maintainer actually showed up, be like he already left the company and he's no longer maintaining the project. So yeah, it doesn't really work well with my setup here. So I thought I'd do things myself in a way, and it's not really working well, as you can see. But you know what? It's a good way to see how they're implementing it. Maybe I can copy and paste something into my own code base, if that's gonna help. Yeah, that's actually very good inspiration. Let's take a look at their Sdk source code. So for variables, I believe is in core, and okay, I think so they're doing the var thing like this, right? And they're passing it, be like connection run, and they have the query and the variables. So they are doing the variables like a dictionary. So that's actually a good way to do it. Yeah, so not using, yeah, that's actually good. So let's see how they're using the connections. Thank you, Hefty Mouse. This is a good inspiration. So I think I also have something similar. I could have something similar as well. So for their connection should be over here, and when they run, what? They are not taking any variables. Oh, how's that possible? Is this just something they imagined that they would do and never did it? Because it seems like run doesn't take a variable as a parameter. I could be wrong though. Okay, what is this? Master.getPayload variables. Master is owner.master query, and variables is runner.variables. And let's see what the query is. Simple query. Query serializer. Wow, their whole thing is very complicated. Yeah, their whole thing is very complicated. I want to see if they have a branch that's like using the variables in the connection.run, because it obviously seems like this is just something that they imagine that they do and not actually having it implemented. The real thing is more like this right now, or maybe. Okay, let's go see how they're doing it here. Payload is owner.payload. Simple subquery. Simple query. So I see get payload be like the payload is new query. Okay. A payload. What type is payload? Okay, it is anonymous type. That's fine. String anonymous type is new. String query variables. Okay, that's also okay. I mean, query is just a string, which at this point I know what it is, right? And variables is variables. And variables is just okay, I can do that. So what they are doing here is basically saying we don't need special object here for the variables, but what we're gonna do instead is to have the variable to be a new dictionary of string object. Exactly. So right here we can have owner to be myself, and wait, is that how they're doing it? No. Okay, so yeah, it needs to be encapsulated. Right. And it's comma separated, and second line is gonna be the same as well. name, and it's gonna be Vader. And hopefully that just works, because this is variables. The text is whatever the query is, and in the end the actual query is gonna be to serialize basically this. Right here we're gonna put query equals to graph query, and variables equals to variables, and let's see if we can get something out of it. Alright, data is a query attribute must be specified and must be a string. Did I not specify that as a string? That's interesting. Let's see what query is at this point. So copy the value and go here and paste in everything. And would you look at that? It made a lot of wrong things. These are all mistakes. Okay. Okay, so query is query, and at this point it's still good. Still okay. Everything is good until right, query is query. Oh, I see. So what we're doing to query here is Graphql is Yep. Nah, we're seriously missing the mark here, so let's do something. Basically we just need the text, right? Yeah, and that's actually all we need at this point. So let's just do the text and delete this line because it's no longer needed. And yeah, that should be fine. Let's do it. No? Wait a minute. But we're seeing something different. Name is declared by anonymous query, but not used. This is maybe still wrong, so let's take a look. It looks right, actually, right? It looks right. I wonder if we copy it here would change something. So let's see. It is JSON. And let's find and replace all of the /r /n to be basically nothing. Okay. we still have it? What are these? Okay. Variables. Okay, maybe we're missing something here. So basically they have payload is just an anonymous object of query, which is basically just a string of the query, and the variables is the variables, right? Formatting wrong. JSON convert. Do I have to do this? Newtonsoft. Let's try it. Let's try it with the Newtonsoft. Right? Maybe something about the serializer, so we never know. Okay, looking good. And let's use basically this, right? Instead of that. And we're gonna need to bring in Newtonsoft.json convert. Is that how it works? Yeah, Newtonsoft. Oh, it's one word. It's not a thing. How do we not have Newtonsoft? I just installed it. Yeah, it's right here. Newtonsoft.json. It really should work. Let's try to compile it. It doesn't work, so they don't recognize. Basically, I don't think they're recognizing Newtonsoft, right? Yep. This is seriously messing me up, so let's namespace is GraphQL test, right? And let's have everything to be here, basically. Using utinsoft.json. Okay. And let's delete whatever is here. Okay, that does seem to work. So the third thing is to have this configuration, which yeah, we don't actually need this at this point. So we need to configure this to be a async method. Is that what it is? Okay. All right. I think we're good. Let's try it. Let's try it. Oh no, what's wrong? Suitable for entry point. What? It's clean and run. Doesn't have a main method, so main method cannot be async. Is that what it is? It cannot be async. Then these two would have to wait. Dot get awaiter. Dot get result. Okay, and this is gonna be the same. Dot get awaiter. Dot get result. And go. And we're just not seeing the console, so we forgot to put a breakpoint. Let's put it right here and run again. And we hit it. And yeah, so we're not forming the correct variables. Query is this. Let's copy the value, paste it somewhere, and it's basically exactly the same. We're having the query. We have the owner, the name, and in the end we have the variables of the owner and the name. So I'm not getting why we're not good with the thing right here. That's basically how they're doing it, right? And getting payload. And that's for the simple query, if I remember it correctly. Simple query. Run page. Right, run page is simple query is in the core. So if we take a look at the unit tests, do they have like variables or something? I wonder how they make it work for variables. That's a query and you're taking something and okay, so this is just testing the queries. That's not interesting at all. I think what I'm getting here is essentially what is over here, and it's called variables, right? Variables with the owner and the name, and the query is one big string, basically. So yeah, I'm getting like 200 responses, and they cannot see the variables. That's the whole issue. Okay, so basically this line is just to make this into lowercase, and that's fine. We are not concerned with that at the moment because we're not using uppercase for our variables. What we are concerned about is that even though we are doing it exactly the same way the API endpoint is expecting us to do it, they are not recognizing the variables, right? So basically they're saying missing required arguments, so they're not seeing the variables. You know what? Let's go back to the documentation. Maybe we're missing something. Okay, I think this is exactly the problem. Like, they are expecting us to have variables, but they are not actually giving an example of how the API would accept the variables. This is very, very deeply concerning. So what I think I'm gonna do is to just do it here and be like, it just doesn't make sense. Who would design such a bad API, right? The Graphql endpoint. Breaking changes. No variables. Okay, public schema. Okay, that's not helpful. Also, this is also not helpful. Perform introspection. What does that mean? JavaScript SDK. That's actually a good point. But JavaScript normally is easier to work with JSON and GraphQL because the library over there is just better, right? So I do work with GraphQL at work, but you do have a good point. So let's go take a look. Okay, I think oh, the sidebar is just an extension that I use. I think it's called Octotree. So yeah, the Octotree basically has the sidebar thing covered for all types of repos. For private ones, you have to enter a token that you generate. Yeah, so if you do enter a token, after a while it does hit like the API rate limit and it stops showing up. But if you do enter a token, yeah, it's pretty handy. I do recommend it. There are a lot of cool extensions you can install for GitHub. So basically I have this one called GitHub Files icon. So notice that all of the files do have like prettier icons over here. And I also have, what else do I have? Enhanced GitHub. I think it tells me things about the size somewhere. Yeah, like these ones I think previously were not there on the website. And I also think there's like ways for me to download a specific maybe it's not here, but before, like if I click into something, I should have a way to download it. I don't know if it's this one, but yeah, it is super cool. It is super cool. Okay, let's see how they're implementing it. Getting the variables, get all inputs, and they have the query. Send a simple query. Authentication. Variables. Okay, so that's variables. And that's how they're doing it, basically. They are just passing them as normal. What are these? I don't even know what they are. So Graphql must be one of the oh, there. Request query options. Yeah, maybe. So, oh, where are they again? Let's go back here. Graphql. So first one is the let's do this split screen. Where were we? Okay, variables. Yeah, so they have this whole object. Where is it? So the first thing is the request. Wait, what? That's the request? Doesn't look like a request. And the query and options. And options. They gotta be using the options somewhere, right? First options. They are assigning query and options together. Okay, so basically they are saying, wait, but if options also contains the header, then why are they putting the header in the queries? Maybe I need to download the code for better browsing. Oh, actually I can do this. Dev. Yep, much easier. Okay. Graphql query request is a request. Basically, request as request. So a request is octokit self request. Do we have that here? I don't think we have that. Octokit, right? Okay, doesn't matter. It doesn't seem like to be the query that we thought it'd be. So this is the query that we normally would see, and options are what follows. They're exporting this function, but the README is saying that basically this is do not use template literals in the query string as they make your code vulnerable to query injection attacks. Yeah. Okay, so let's try something stupid. So this is the query, and we're gonna do that over here. So owner to be myself, and name to be Vader, and see if that works. And that does not work. Is it the body? Is the body having something to do with it? Yep. So let's just change this back to be what it used to be. Let's delete this. Right, and actually no, we need it. We need this. Maybe the format is wrong. So is there a typo in owner? Oh, there is. Thank you so much. Should be fine now, right? Send again? Nope. So something must be wrong in the body. I open it over here, and repository takes these two variables. Open one here, the second one, close it twice. It seems correct for me. Do I delete this? I do. Okay, so they're still not seeing my variables. And you know what? At this point, I think I'm gonna try something like this. Owner, myself, name to be Vader. If that also doesn't help. No typo. I hate this API. I hate it so much. Okay, let's go back. Don't panic. What are they doing in the options? So for all of the options, they are putting it into the query. So query and options. And what it spits out should be an object. So weird. So parsed options. Result.key. What is result? Okay, so they're just calling it body dot that and variables equals to this. So I think the body is the JSON object and query is query, variables is variables. So I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the Graphql function does to the options. Yeah, like not having proper documentation on things and library not being maintained by the owner. Yeah, so frustrating, right? I hate this, but it'll be worth it so much if this works. Can try another thing. Let's grab these two variables. Let's paste them. I don't think the order would matter too much, but you know, worth trying. Nah, still not working. Okay. But for sure, this is how they do it, right? The body has variable and query, and I have those two as well. I have variables and query, and they're expecting the variables to be this object. No, I'm not moving to GraphQL entirely. I would move to GraphQL entirely if there's like really good official SDKs. But since I'm hacking it myself, I'm only solving a really big pain point. If it wouldn't for that, I'll be sticking with the REST API. Yeah, but this is, yeah, like I said in my previous stream, it is for the conversation, PR conversation page, which is like really slow at this point. And if there are like other pages that's like really slow, then yeah, I would be switching those pages to GraphQL, because for now it's kind of painful, right? I have to define, I have to find out what the schema is and define the query for that page, and also I need to parse it. Without using an official library is kind of pretty hard. Only do it when it's worth it, basically. I'm actually thinking maybe it's a crazy idea, but maybe they want something like this. And yeah, this would be so crazy if this is what they want. And right here we need to escape. Oh, what the hell? Owner. Name. Fail to parse variables, but they do know it is variables. That's something. Nah, it went back again. Okay, so maybe this is what they want all along, or is this what they want all along? They don't know what variables are. Yeah, that's fair. That is totally fair. Maybe this? Nope. No. So if I do this, they say failed to parse variables, but they do know it is variables. Why do I have to explore this? They should have everything defined already. Okay, so this is how they are doing it. And that's exactly the same way as I am doing it, right? Putting in variables like a JSON object and having this over here. So what am I doing wrong here? The body is raw. Okay. I mean, it was crazy to do that, but yeah, this seems like the right way to do it. So just like this. No. I don't suppose I have a typo over here. There's some typo. Owner is owner. Name is name. And yet, I am missing required arguments. Am I missing something? This is so frustrating. Well, this person is using Postman. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but you know, let's try it. Let's download Postman. And let's do one. Okay, it's gonna be a post and a body. Let's do raw. Why not, right? Let's just use their example right here. Actually, not. Let's not use their example because they're probably using some kind of oh, okay. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can enter the URLs for it, and for header, basically we need the user agent. Make sure to switch text to JSON at the top since it sets the content type based on that. You're talking about Postman? Is that what you're talking about? You mean like this one? To JSON, right? Okay. Thank you for the help. Let's once again copy this. Did I do auth? Yep. So for authorization, we're gonna do bear token and send. Okay. Have we asked for too much? But you know what? Since it works for them, it must work for us. So let's try our own query here. I don't think it was that much different, right? I don't think. So variables, query. Send. Why do you do this to me? Okay, organization string. Maybe this. Oh no. Would help. It would not help. Okay. So they want me to basically to enable developer settings repo. It's a personal access token. I don't think this is. I don't think that has anything to do with it. So basically, they say I'm missing required arguments. Am I not using it correctly? Yeah, that's probably it, right? So after I define it over here, when I use it, I do it this way. And for the count, they are using it here. I think that was okay. Oh, typo. Dang it. If this is the issue all along, man. Okay. Damn it. This was the issue all along. Typo. I'm gonna lose everything I have to typos. Like, I'm not even kidding. Right, so it should have worked here, over here as well. Nope. Wait, what? O-W-N-E-R, right? Ah, okay. Exclamation point. Yeah. Damn it. But, you know, it worked, so... Alright, so what's wrong with my test repo, I mean test project? Over here, we do have these. This is correct. This one should be correct because I copied everything from the Explorer and it was working, so what's wrong with this? Nothing, right? This is even more infuriating because over here we probably don't have a typo. Actually, I probably spoke too fast. Let's just make sure. Okay, so this is the data we're making here. It is variables, owner name. That seems correct. And over here we have query of query with owner with the correct format, and repository use owner name. Oh, we're using owner on name. That's why it was not working. I am so mad at myself right now. You have no idea. And yeah, voila, we have the data. That's all we need. That is all we need. Okay, so I think this method is proven to be working. And all we need is to come up with the query, which we can do in the Explorer. And the other thing is to come up with the variables, which isn't so hard. Now that we know we are full of typos, but you know, it's fine. It's okay. So after this, unfortunately, that would mean the end of today's stream because we are running out of time. But I think we made good progress despite all of the typos weighing us down. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself for this. So after this, what we're gonna be working on tomorrow would be to well, we're gonna need a way to deserialize the JSON object into C# objects. That's the first, and then we're gonna use the Explorer to figure out what's the best way to fetch the data with the query. And with that query, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna figure out how to do paginations, because PRs are long and we don't know how to go through PRs, because the Graphql API from GitHub does have some limitations on how deep you can go into the nodes. So if you do like 100 on the review, and then you also want to get 100 from the comments in each review, and you also want to get 100 of reactions from each comment, then because it's node inside of a node inside of a node, that's like 3 layers down. So the number of nodes that you're getting, worst case scenario would be 100 times 100 times 100. So that would be a million, right? And I think they have like 500,000 on the limit for the number of nodes that you can get. So they do have some limits, and we need to do some kind of pagination to get around that. And I'm thinking, so I do need to set some kind of limit. So for example, if you have a review, then probably I get like 20 or 30 at a time for reviews. So that's where we do pagination. We do it at the top level, right? And then after that, we'll just get like 100 comments on each review, because I think that's a lot already. And what we can also do is to get the number of comments on each review. So if there really is more than 100, we can fetch it at the page level instead of at the API level. So that's one thing we can do, and same thing goes for the emoji reactions, right? So normally I think there will be like less than 100 emojis on each comment. Like if there's like a way more than 100, then first of all, it doesn't make sense, right? Second, if that really is the case, then we're gonna get a number of the total number of reactions on each one, and if there really is more than 100, we'll get it from the page, no big deal. So I think a little bit of speed sacrifice in those extreme edge cases can be warranted. That way our pagination is easier to make, because it's only getting it it's only getting pagination on the top level of the nodes. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that my inability to type the words correctly and using arguments correctly has made half of the stream today for debugging for my typing skill. But that's what you get for not using a library, and that's just what you get in life, isn't it? So thank you so much for watching it, and make sure to follow me on Twitter, also on Twitch, YouTube, GitHub, all that good stuff. And if you're interested, download JitHub in the Microsoft Store, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.